1 in 8 American adults has used a GLP-1 drug. Names like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. These medications can be life-changing for diabetes, heart, and weight. But there's a catch that's getting bigger every year: the cost, and whether your insurance will actually cover it. Today, we're breaking down what these drugs actually cost in 2026, why coverage is shrinking for some while expanding for others, and your real options if you're priced out. Quick refresher first. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a hormone your body already makes, regulating blood sugar and appetite. These drugs mimic that hormone, originally developed for type 2 diabetes. Same active ingredients, different doses, sold under different brand names. Some are for weight loss, others for reducing cardiovascular risk. Same chemical, different label, very different insurance rules. Let's start with the sticker price, what these drugs cost without insurance. Without insurance, these drugs have cost upwards of $1,300 a month. And these aren't short-term. Most people take them long-term. That's potentially over $15,000 a year, every single year. The good news, the sticker price isn't the only price anymore. In 2026, several lower-cost paths exist that didn't before. A new pill version starts at $149 a month for the lowest dose, going up to $199 and $299 for higher doses. The injection pen runs about $199 initially for new patients, with standard pricing around $349 after that. A direct manufacturer program starts another option around $299. There's also a newer government-negotiated pricing program, bringing prices down for both insured and uninsured patients. Coupon programs like GoodRx offer similar pricing on some of these drugs. So the gap between full price and using these programs is enormous, potentially the difference of over $1,000 a month. Now, here's where it gets messy: the insurance picture. Coverage often depends less on which drug, more on why you're taking it. If prescribed for diabetes, most plans cover it normally. If prescribed purely for weight loss, coverage is far less reliable. And in 2026, that gate has gotten narrower for some drugs. One major pharmacy benefit manager dropped a weight loss drug from coverage. The number with no coverage at all rose by roughly 12 million. Now, over 109 million people have zero coverage for that drug. Coverage for another major weight loss drug has tightened too. Over 12 million lost commercial coverage in just the past year, bringing the total with no commercial coverage to over 41 million. For drugs still covered, many plans require prior authorization. Your doctor has to submit paperwork proving medical necessity, sometimes including diagnosis, weight history, and related conditions. If your plan only covers it for a different specific condition, it generally won't be approved, even with paperwork. Here's the bigger connection. GLP-1 popularity is raising premiums too. The more expensive and popular a drug, the more it ripples through pricing, which is part of why insurers are tightening rules on who gets it covered. Now, here's a genuinely big shift, especially if you're on Medicare. Starting July 1st, 2026, Medicare begins a new pilot program covering 2 major weight loss GLP-1 drugs, specifically for weight loss. Before this, Medicare patients paid full price out of pocket, often $1,000 or more every single month. Under the new program, eligible enrollees pay around $50 a month, including a new oral version, now available in over 70,000 pharmacies. The federal government covers a large chunk of the remaining cost. This pilot program runs through the end of 2026, with a longer-term program expected to follow in 2027. You'll need to meet specific criteria Medicare sets to qualify, generally related to obesity or weight with a related health condition. Compounded versions of these drugs are not included in this coverage. Some state Medicaid programs are beginning to cover GLP-1s for obesity, but this varies a lot. Many states still exclude weight loss use. If you're on Medicaid, check directly with your state program, because the rules can be completely different than your neighbors. Let's make this practical. What are your actual options? First, call your plan and ask if it's covered for your diagnosis and whether it requires prior authorization. Don't rely on what you read online. Formularies vary by plan. Second, check manufacturer savings programs. Even with insurance, some bring costs down to as little as $25 for a multi-month supply, with separate cash pay programs if your plan doesn't cover it at all. Third, ask your doctor about lower-cost alternatives. Older medications or different formulations may be cheaper and effective. Be cautious with compounded versions. They're often less regulated, and they're excluded from programs like the new Medicare benefit. Fourth, compare cash prices, even if you do have insurance. Especially with a high deductible, cash can sometimes beat insurance pricing. Zooming out, GLP-1s show how fast healthcare coverage can shift. 2 years ago, nobody had heard of prior authorization for these drugs. Now, it's one of the most contested categories in pharmacy benefits. Coverage is shrinking for weight loss use on the commercial side, while expanding for the first time on Medicare. Both things are true at the same time, depending on your insurance type. And this is very much a moving target, changing as we speak. The Medicare pilot is temporary, with a bigger program expected in 2027. State Medicaid rules are still being written in many places. Insurers are actively re-evaluating formularies as these drugs grow popular. Whatever's true today could be different again at your next renewal. So this isn't a check once and forget it situation. Let's go through a few real scenarios people are facing right now. Someone with type 2 diabetes, prescribed for the approved use. Someone seeking it purely for weight loss with no other condition. And a Medicare patient who now qualifies under the new pilot. Each person's path through this system looks completely different, which is exactly why checking your own specific situation matters most. If your doctor recommends a GLP-1, ask about the full range of options. Pricing and coverage can both change within the same drug family. Don't assume the most advertised option is automatically the cheapest. Keep a record of any prior authorization denials and appeal if needed. Many denials are overturned simply because someone followed up. Pharmacists can also be a surprisingly useful source of pricing info. They often know which programs and coupons apply before you even ask. It's worth asking directly, what's the lowest price you can offer today? Put it all together, and here's the bottom line. GLP-1 coverage is genuinely confusing right now, and that's not your fault. But it is navigable once you know the right questions to ask. Confirm your coverage for your specific diagnosis, not just the drug name. Compare insurance pricing against cash pay and coupon programs. If you're on Medicare, look closely at the new July 2026 program. If you're on Medicaid, call your state program directly to check. And whatever you decide, revisit it again at your next renewal. This space is moving fast, and staying current actually saves you money. If you're on a GLP-1 or considering one, here's the simplest takeaway. Confirm what your plan covers for your specific diagnosis, and compare that against cash pay programs before assuming anything. If you found this useful, check out our video on the 2026 ACA changes. These two topics are actually connected in ways that affect your wallet. Let us know in the comments what you want us to cover next.